As soon as Day of the Diesels was announced, every Thomas fan was all hyped up for it. We had fan-made trailers, we had real trailers, we had a cliffhanger at the end of the last special that came before this. It was just a big thing for us Thomas fans. So what's the story? Thomas and his best friend Percy, as if we didn't already know that, fight a fire at a farmhouse until Belle arrives to save the day. After the fire is put out, Belle had run out of water, and Thomas and Percy shunt her to the steamworks. Once there, Belle is congratulated by the Fat Controller for her brave work, but he says that another fire engine is needed on the island. Well, obviously one fire engine wasn't enough for this island. And what the hell happened to those fire engines from Series 5? Anyway, Belle recommends Flynn, another character we've never heard of, so it's arranged to bring him over from the mainland. When Thomas starts to spend all his time with Belle, Percy feels left out. Percy was supposed to deliver Flynn's hose to the rescue centre, but devious Diesel convinces him to go to the Sodor Diesel Works, which had never been seen in the previous series. At the Diesel Works in Vickerstown, Percy is made to feel very special by Diesel 10. Yeah, that's kind of a spoiler from Misty Island Rescue. Percy learns all about the state of the Diesel Works. The Diesels say that they told the Fat Controller that the Diesel Works needed repairing, but that he only listens to steam engines. That's a pile of bull crap. Percy says that he will ask Thomas to tell the Fat Controller because he always listens to Thomas. Really? Meanwhile, Flynn arrives at the docks and sets off to the steamworks. When Percy finds Thomas at the steamworks, everyone is admiring Flynn. Percy tries to tell Thomas about the Diesel Works, but Thomas interrupts by saying that the Fat Controller has asked him to show Flynn around the island and rolls over to the new fire engine. Percy, very sad, rolls away to Tismuth Sheds. The next day, Percy returns to the Diesel Works and learns that they don't have a working crane, except for a really old crane named Happy Hook. But Percy takes Sodor's Jerry Lewis here to the Diesel Works to work as their acting crane. And Diesel 10 is delighted that Jerry Lewis is their new crane. Diesel 10 keeps asking Percy to tell Thomas about the Diesel Works, but Percy always tells him that Thomas didn't have much time. So Diesel 10 tells Percy to bring Thomas to the Diesel Works so that they would have his full attention. And Percy agrees and stays the night at the Diesel Works. The next day, Percy arrives at Knapford only to learn that Thomas is looking for him. Thomas then asks where Percy was. Percy tells him, but before anyone could say anything, Gordon pulled up announcing Kevin's disappearance. Percy tells everyone that he's at the Diesel Works, and Thomas asks if Victor knows. Percy admits that he doesn't, and Thomas tells him that he must tell Victor right away. As soon as Victor hears the news, he goes to tell the Fat Controller about this news. Diesel 10 is happy to hear from Percy that Thomas will arrive soon and that Victor has left the steamworks. Diesel 10 tells Percy to lead them to the steamworks so they can take over it to make the Fat Controller listen to them. Thomas pulls in and Diesel 10 says that Den and Dart will take care of him. While Thomas is locked up in a shed, Percy leads the Diesels to the steamworks, and once there, Diesel 10 announces that they won't give it back, and Percy is horrified to find that Diesel 10 was just using him the whole time. It didn't take me long to figure it out. And the rest of the film is just the Diesels having control of the steamworks and Percy has to go back to save Thomas. And after that they have to force the Diesels out of the steamworks. So what do I think of this special? Well, let me put it this way. Diesel 10 is a freaking bad guy again. I've been waiting to see him be a bad guy again ever since Thomas and the Magic Railroad. I mean, it's just great to see him as the main villain again after all these years. And the first time I watched Day of the Diesels, I was thinking that this Steamworks takeover bit was pretty similar to Wind in the Willows. You know, with the whole weasels overrunning Toad Hall and then the Battle of Toad Hall and all that stuff. So it sounds like Sharon Miller didn't just watch Toy Story, but she also read The Wind in the Willows to get inspiration for this special. Or maybe she watched the TV adaptations for it. I don't know, I guess it doesn't matter. But either way, this is a pretty decent Thomas take on the Wind in the Willows story. Mostly the takeover bit. It's also nice to see Devious Diesel and Arian Burt on Diesel 10's side, since Splatter and Dodge are nowhere to be seen since Magic Railroad. And the new characters Den and Dart are really funny Diesels at times. I find it funny how Dart always finishes Den's sentence. So they're real funny side characters and what I mean is
What he means is...
Oh wait, I've just remembered. But thanks for the reminder, Dart. They're two funny characters. And Belle and Flynn are pretty interesting as well. But in all honesty, I'm not much of a fan of Flynn. I kind of prefer Belle. Maybe it was because she was voiced by Teresa. You know, the woman who does Emily and Rosie and pretty much every other female character in the show. And I don't know if it's just me, but the Day of the Diesel song kind of sounds similar to Go-Go Thomas. Yeah, seriously, if you listen to that song, it just sounds similar to Go-Go Thomas, but the lyrics changed. It just sounds very similar to me. I don't know if it's just me, but listen to both of those songs to see what I'm talking about. So in my opinion, Day of the Diesels is a really good special. I actually thought it was one of the best specials, unlike that other special. So yeah, if you want to see a Thomas special that has Diesel 10 being a villain again since Thomas and the Magic Railroad, definitely watch this one. And if you're a fan of Wind in the Willows, then you're gonna love the Wind in the Willows take on this special. And if you think this special is great, wait till you see what's coming up next.